Morning, all. All right, so in yesterday's preview of the two games that are being played in Tampere, which are not on the board this morning because I've already previewed them, I wore my Jokerit jersey as being the only jersey that I knew was from Finland because I ordered it back in, I think it was 2021 or 2022, and had no idea that it was such a divisive issue for me to wear Jokerit. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered. I would have worn something else, like maybe, say, Kladno. So this is the Kladno a Yager jersey. So hopefully that doesn't bother anybody today. All right, so we're gonna start off talking about today's games, but this is of course a preview of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Today we have three games starting at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, then one an hour later, and one an hour after that. So not too late tonight, and only the five games tonight as well. Then we have 11 games here, or no, 10 games here, and then 7 games on Sunday. All right, so today, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the Islanders and the Sabres. The Islanders 3-5-2 and not looking very good. Shut out 4 times this season. Buffalo 4-5-1 and proof that hope springs eternal. The first of 3 teams they'll play again November 30th and December 23rd. So by New Year's they're done with each other. Palmieri on the Islanders side, 4 goals, 3 assists for 7 points. Anders Lee, just the 3 goals so far. Dobson just has the 6 assists. I would say he's due for a goal, but Dobson, a lion's share of his points or assists anyways. On the Buffalo side, Tage Thompson, 7 goals, 5 assists for 12 points. Alex Tuch, 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points. And Owen Power, 2 goals, 6 assists for 8 points on the blue line for the Buffalo Sabres, who I think are playing all right. But again, 4-5-1, that leaves you below 500 and outside of the race for a playoff spot. Also at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the Ottawa Senators and the New York Rangers. This should be a fun one. The Ottawa Senators are 5-4. Could easily be 5-2-2 based on that last road trip they had. So they've already shown they can play against pretty tough opponents. The Rangers being one of those tough opponents now at 6-2-1. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again January 21st as well as March the 8th. Brady Tkachuk, 6 goals, 7 assists, 13 points for him so far this season. That's an excellent start. Batherson off to a really strong one as well. 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points. Shabbat, a goal and 4 assists for him on the blue line for Ottawa. On the Rangers side, Hedel has had quite the run. 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points. And Will Cooley, who saw this coming? 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points. It's always nice to see a player who works really hard starting to be rewarded offensively. And Mancini's been quite the story for the Rangers as well. A rookie coming out of nowhere. A goal, 3 assists for 4 points. So that should be a fun one. But Winnipeg Columbus kind of has a fun aspect to this as well, in that Columbus looks pretty good. So this starts at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. First of 2 meetings. They'll meet again in Winnipeg on December the 8th. The Jets are 9-1 to start the season, whereas the Columbus Blue Jackets are 5-3-1. On the Winnipeg side, Ehlers, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points. Really strong numbers from a lot of Jets, including Scheifele, 6 goals, 7 assists, 13 points, and Pionk, 3 goals, 9 assists for 12 points. On the Columbus side, Monahan, 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points. LeBanc, he's been all around it. Can he get a goal? He has 5 assists. And Severson, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. If Columbus wins this one tonight, they're going to take a pretty big jump on the power rankings tomorrow. Tampa Bay is in Minnesota. That starts at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. The Tampa Bay Lightning 7-3 to start the season. Minnesota 6-1-2. These teams met on October 24th. Minnesota won that matchup in Tampa 4-2, and they kind of controlled it late. So Tampa Bay is looking for some measure of revenge tonight. Geeky, 2 goals and an assist for 3 points. He's been going really well recently. Hagel, 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 points. Pretty consistent nightly effort from him. McDonough, 3 assists. He's not really there for the points, though. He's there for the defense. On the Minnesota side, Boldy, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points. Kaprizov, ridiculous numbers from him so far. 5 goals, 13 assists for 18 points. Brodin, also there for the defense, but he provides some offense with 5 assists so far this season. And then the final game for tonight, starting at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, New Jersey, against the Calgary Flames. So the Devils coming off that dominant win over a very sleepy-looking Canucks team. 7-4-2 win, or 7-4-2 record for New Jersey. The Calgary Flames are 5-4-1, and it does feel like the Flames have come down a bit off of that early run. These teams will meet again March the 20th in Jersey. The Devils, for them, Nason, 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points. Meyer, also 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points. Just really strong numbers. And when you get those kind of numbers from Stefan Nason, it's not really all that expected. His career high, I believe, is 37 points in a season. Hamilton, a goal and 6 assists for 7 points. So in the case that, let's just say, Nason stays near that point per game level all season, that's a really late bloomer. Kudos to him, though. On the Calgary front, Zeri might be able to help turn things around. 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. And Kadri, 4 goals, 2 assists for him so far. Feels like he's been stuck on that for a while. Rasmus Anderson on the blue line, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points. They're going to need some kind of spark from these guys. And, spark can lead to a flame. So I apologize, but if I didn't say it, somebody in the comments would have. And I am so sorry. All right, apologizing a lot today. So Saturday, we have a bunch of games. The games go during the day, all day. Starting at 9 in the morning tomorrow with that game out of Tampere. So, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, we have the Boston Bruins and the Philadelphia Flyers. Both teams are 4-6-1. They're headed in opposite directions. As shown on October 29th when Philadelphia beat Boston 2-0. One of the 2 recent shutouts against Boston. December 7th, these teams will meet for a third and final time. The Boston Bruins need some points. Now, Pasternak's been good at 6 goals and 4 assists, but 10 points in 11 games. It's not trending in the direction that you would think Pasternak would be headed, but when he's the only really good offensive player. For example, Elias Lindholm, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. I think he has 1 point in his last 8 games. Hampus Lindholm, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. They just need more out of these players. The Philadelphia Flyers, Farabee, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. Matvei Michkov, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points for him. And Ristolainen has a goal and an assist thus far this season. So 2 points for Risto. At 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, the Chicago Blackhawks and the LA Kings get to know one another. First of 3 meetings this season. They'll meet again March the 3rd and March the 20th. Tyler Bertuzzi has 3 goals so far this season. He had a goal in last night's game against San Jose, so maybe he's going to start putting up more points. Mikheyev had an assist last night. He now has 1 goal, 1 assist so far this season. Seth Jones, 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points for him from the blue line for the Hawks. On the LA Kings side, Kempe, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points for him. Byfield, just the 5 assists. He's got to get a goal soon, right? And Brent Clark has been quite the story for the LA Kings. 1 goal, 10 assists, 11 points. So while there's been points where we can look at their defense and say they really missed Doughty, and I'm sure they do, Clark has stepped in offensively and looked pretty darn good. 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific start between Columbus and Washington. So for the Columbus Blue Jackets, this next 48 hours are going to be very telling. First, they're at home against Winnipeg, and then they go to Washington. Of course, Columbus 5-3-1, Washington 7-2. So both of these teams, very good teams, and if Columbus could somehow win back-to-back here, we could be talking about a huge jump on tomorrow night's power rankings. So this is the first of 4 meetings between Columbus and Washington. They'll meet again December 12th, April 12th, and April the 13th. Matthew Olivier, 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points. Really good start for him. Marchenko, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points. And Provorov, 3 assists for him on the blue line. On the Capitals side, Ovechkin with 5 goals, 5 assists for 10 points. Tom Wilson, 6 goals, 2 assists for 8 points. And Carlson on the blue line, 2 goals, 6 assists for 8 points. The veterans in Washington doing a really good job of keeping them above the 500 mark and in the running for potentially winning their division and all that fun stuff at a time where a lot of people were picking them to miss the playoffs. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start for Seattle and the Ottawa Senators. In fact, there's 4 games starting then. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again in Seattle on December the 17th. So for the Kraken, they're 5-5-1. Ottawa's 5-4. On the Seattle side, Beniers, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. He's been good lately, productive, I should say. Burakovsky, just the 6 assists. He can score goals, though, right? And Montour, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points for Montour. Great run for him recently. On the Ottawa side, Stützle, 5 goals, 9 assists, 14 points for him. Giroux, 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. So Giroux continues to defy the aging process. And Shabbat, a goal and 4 assists for 5 points. Then also at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, we've got Buffalo. Coming off that game at home against the Islanders, they then go to Detroit. Detroit 4-5-1, the same record as Buffalo. October 26th, Buffalo won this matchup 5-3. We'll see if they can win in Detroit. These teams meet again December 9th and March the 12th. Jason Zucker, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points for him on the Buffalo side. Cousins, just the 3 assists. He's got to start getting some goals. Got to. Darlene, a goal, 5 assists for 6 points. He recently got his first goal. Maybe he's due for another. On the Detroit side, surprising that Raymond only has the 1 goal to go with 9 assists. He's looked good, so he's going to start getting goals at some point soon. DeBrincat, 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points. Very hot and cold play when you get to DeBrincat, of course. Edvinsson, a goal and 3 assists on the blue line for Detroit, and he's looked pretty good. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between Montreal and Pittsburgh. Montreal is 4-6-1. Pittsburgh's 4-7-1. These teams met October 14th. Pittsburgh won that matchup 6-3. These teams will meet for a third and final time on December the 12th. Caulfield, 10 goals, 1 assist, 11 points. Ridiculous run for Caulfield. And Jake Evans, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. It's pretty good production through 11 games for him. Hudson with 7 assists. So there's still that chance that if he can keep up this production all year, maybe he ends up getting the Calder. On the Pittsburgh side, Crosby, 3 goals, 9 assists, 12 points for him. He had a couple of goals last night, so we'll see if that carries over. O'Connor, 3 goals and an assist for 4 points. And on the blue line, you've got Letang, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points for Chris Letang thus far this season. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between Toronto and St. Louis. So for Toronto, they're 6-4-1. St. Louis is 5-6. These teams met October 24th in Toronto. St. Louis beat Toronto 5-1. Toronto's been very Jekyll and Hyde, though, so we'll see how things go with this one. Marner, a goal and 11 assists for 12 points. He's got to start scoring some goals at some point. Tavares has had a really good bounce-back year. He had a down year last year. Right now he's sitting at a point per game. 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. Morgan Riley, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points for Riley from the blue line. On the St. Louis side, Kyrie's been quiet lately. 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points. Bolduc had an assist last night, so he's currently sitting at 3 helpers on the season. And Suter, a goal, an assist for 2 points on the blue line for St. Louis. We'll see if he gets a point or what happens there. But yeah, Suter picked up, of course, in the offseason. And he's there more for the veteran leadership. The numbers offensively aren't going to get back to where they were 5 or 10 years ago. But still, you can be useful as a veteran. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific start between Colorado and Nashville. The Avalanche 5-6 on the season, whereas Nashville's 3-6-1 and coming off that rough loss against the Oilers. This is the first of 4 meetings. They'll meet again November the 11th, December 14th, and February 22nd. On the Colorado side, Nathan MacKinnon, 5 goals, 13 assists for 18 points. Really strong numbers, of course, because it's Nate MacKinnon. And Rantanen, 4 goals, 11 assists, 15 points. Imagine having 15 points in 11 games. People are like, well, he should have more than 4 goals by now. And Makar, 4 goals, 15 assists, 19 points. Just continues to rewrite the record book in terms of defensive scoring. On the Nashville side, Nyquist, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. Marchessault, 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points. And Brady Shea also has 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. A little more disappointing to see the 6 points from Marchessault than Shea, considering what was expected of them coming into this season. But that is a big part of the storyline in Nashville, is the play of these veteran players, that it hasn't worked out to this point, their additions to Nashville. But they are trending in the right direction, at least they were going into last night's game against the Oilers. Maybe against a Colorado team that struggled with goaltending, maybe they get the win there. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start between Utah and Vegas. I believe Utah's first trip during the regular season to Las Vegas. November 15th and November 30th are the other 2 meetings between these teams. Salt Lake City and Las Vegas, are they the most opposite cities? They're going to be pretty close to opposite in terms of, nightlife and just in general. At any rate, on the Utah side, Nick Schmaltz does not have a goal yet this season. That's not right. He's got to get a goal soon. 11 assists for him. Krause, 3 goals and an assist for 4 points for their power forward. And Sergachev has really started to produce now. 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points. On the Vegas side, Pearson continues his strong play. 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points, and a bounce-back year for him. William Karlsson hasn't missed a beat since returning. 3 games, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. And Theodore, a goal and 8 assists for 9 points for Shea Theodore. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start between Vancouver and San Jose as well, as this is the last game for Saturday's portion of the board. Vancouver's 4-2-3, and they're not good at home, but they've been pretty good on the road. San Jose's 3-7-2. They've won 3 in a row. Take them lightly, they can beat you. This is the first of 4 meetings. They'll meet again December 23rd, February 6th, and April the 14th. On the Vancouver side, JT Miller at a point per game pace, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points. Höglander, 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points. And Quinn Hughes, 2 goals, 6 assists for 8 points for Quinn. On the San Jose side, Eklund, 2 goals and 6 assists for 8 points. And Gushchin has been kind of prominent the last couple games. Not recording points, though, just the 1 assist in 9 games played. Wallman continues his strong run. He had an assist last night. He now sits with a goal, 8 assists for 9 points. All right, and we go to Sunday. The Islanders and the Rangers, so the Battle of New York. This starts at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. So the New York Islanders, as previously mentioned, 3-5-2. They go from Buffalo to New York. The New York Rangers, 6-2-1, as previously mentioned. They go from hosting the Senators to hosting the Islanders. So those are winnable games for the Rangers, right? This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again February 25th, March the 3rd, and April the 10th. And I say winnable because things change. Hockey can be very unpredictable. On the Islanders side, Siplikov, the rookie, a goal and 4 assists for Siplikov, 5 points. Horvat, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points for Bo. He's one of many that's just everybody seems to be underproducing right now for the Islanders. When you get shut out 4 times, that's how that works. Pulock just has the 3 assists so far as well, but Pulock's known more as the defensive side of things anyways. On the Rangers side, Panarin, 6 goals, 9 assists, 15 points. Great numbers there. Chris Kreider just has the 6 goals, but I mean, it's 6 goals, so it's not nothing. And then Braden Schneider, 2 goals, 2 assists for Schneider on the blue line. 3 Eastern, noon Pacific start between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Winnipeg Jets. So Tampa Bay 7-3 to start the season. Winnipeg 9-1. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again in Tampa on November the 14th. On the Tampa side, Nick Paul, 3 goals, 6 assists, 9 points for him. Gensel, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points. And Hedman, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points. This will be a good test for Tampa, too, because they go from Minnesota to Winnipeg. Those are 2 of the top teams for Winnipeg, playing in Columbus against the surprising Blue Jackets, and then playing home against Tampa. On the Winnipeg side, Connor, what a story. 9 goals, 8 assists, 17 points for Kyle. Lowry, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. And Colin Miller has been productive so far this season. 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. We'll look and see if that continues. 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific start between Seattle and Boston. So this is the second game for both teams on the board. Boston going from being in Philly for the morning game to being home against Seattle. Seattle goes from Ottawa to Boston. Short trip. So for Seattle, 5-5-1. Boston, of course, 4-6-1. First of 2 meetings. They'll meet again in Seattle on December the 12th. Jaden Schwartz, 2 goals, 5 assists so far this season for Seattle for 7 points. Tolvanen, pretty good sniper right now. 4 goals, 1 assist, 5 points, and he's been kind of hot lately. Riker Evans continues to produce on the blue line. 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points for Riker. Marchand, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. I did see a post last night from Boston won't get better until they take the captaincy off Marchand. That's going to create more goals. So Poitras's been one of the disappointing Bruins. Just the 3 assists in 9 games so far this season. Not the kind of start that he had last year, and it's just part of the nightmare that is the Boston Bruins season so far. McAvoy, 2 goals and an assist for 3 points. If it sounds like I'm going to do a Boston video, it's because I'm going to. So yeah, McAvoy's been stuck on 3 points for a while. Like a lot of Bruins have been stuck in terms of the scoring. 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific start between Washington and Carolina. This might be the best game on the board because Washington and Carolina play different styles of sorts, but they're both big on shot suppression and they're both big on that transition game. So this is the first of 4 meetings between these 2 7-2 teams. They meet again December 20th, April 2nd, and April the 10th. On the Washington side, Dylan Strome, 3 goals, 10 assists, 13 points. Dubois, just the 1 goal to go with 4 assists for 5 points for PL Dubois. And McElrath. I wanted to put McElrath on the board because it's nice to see him back in the NHL. He's played almost every game for the Caps. He has 2 assists. He hasn't looked out of place. He knows how to drop the gloves. And again, it's nice to have a story with a guy who late in his career is getting a regular rotation on a team in the NHL after so many years in the AHL. On the Carolina side, Jackson Blake, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points for him. Roslovic, just the 6 goals, so he has the same numbers as Chris Kreider early in the season. Gostisbehere, point per game, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points. I intentionally put 3 guys on the board that either are, in Blake's case, just it's his first year as a regular, he is a rookie, and Roslovic and Gostisbehere, who were additions, just to show Carolina's pretty good with the additions. So in the offseason, there was a lot of people like, they're not contenders anymore. They downgraded at every position. I don't know that they did. 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific start between Toronto and the Minnesota Wild. This should be interesting because Toronto goes from St. Louis to Minnesota. For the Wild, they host Tampa and then they host Toronto. So these are really good matchups. Toronto 6-4-1 currently. Minnesota 6-1-2. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again in Toronto on January 29th. Austin Matthews, 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points for him so far this season. He had that nice bank shot for an empty netter in their last game. Nylander, 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points. He's producing. Give him the ice time. And Ekman Larson with a goal and 5 assists so far this season, 6 points in total. On the Minnesota side, Marco Rossi, 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points. It's been great to watch his career flourish now and how much he's blossomed as a player. Marcus Foligno, 2 goals, an assist for 3 points. Brock Faber, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points for Faber from the blue line. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific start between between Edmonton and Calgary. This, of course, being the Battle of Alberta. Edmonton 5-5-1, Calgary 5-4-1, and they'll just have hosted New Jersey on Friday. So Edmonton has a couple of days off, and then they get to play in Calgary. We'll see if that has any, if that makes a difference. On October 13th, Calgary won this matchup 4-1. These teams meet again March the 29th. Zach Hyman now has a goal to go with an assist. So now that he's got that first goal, feels like he'll probably get a bunch. Draisaitl, 8 goals, 5 assists, 13 points. Looked perfectly good in that first game without McDavid. Ekholm, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points. Continues to be a revelation on the Edmonton blue line. On the Calgary side, Backlund, just past that 1,000 game mark now. 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points for the captain. Kuzmenko, just the 1 goal, but he has 6 assists for 7 points, so Kuzmenko's been productive. And Pahal. I put Pahal on the board because of Calgary's blue liners. He's the one that, to me, has been mentioned the most by commentators and been most prominent that doesn't really have the production yet. He just has the 1 assist so far, but it feels like at some point he'll start getting some points on the board here. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific start as well between Chicago and Anaheim. So I'm going to be done early on Sunday night. That's great. So this is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again November 19th and March the 1st. Chicago, of course, 3-7-1, as I mentioned over here. So for Chicago, they go from Edmonton or from LA to Anaheim on back-to-back nights, but it's pretty short distance between the two. Anaheim 4-4-2. I made a joke last time about traffic in California, and I was told that I'm not allowed to do that. So even though I've been in it. Anyways, Donato, 6 goals, 1 assist, 7 points for Donato. He's got 5 goals in his last 5 games, so he's red hot. Teravainen, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points for him. Connor Murphy, 6 assists for Murphy so far on the blue line for Chicago. On the Anaheim side, Trevor Zegras' lack of production is absolutely prominent. 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points. And I mentioned during the offseason how, I thought he needed to have a bounce back offensively, and there were some Anaheim fans felt like, hey, he's playing well, and the points will come. But for that cap hit, it's definitely almost video worthy at this point. Gauthier just has the 4 assists so far, but he's been prominent in recent games. I think that first goal's coming soon. And Zellweger, a goal and 2 assists, 3 points. As Anaheim has a majority of the good young players that are going to be the future of this franchise, or they're hoping will be the future of this franchise in their lineup. It's just a matter of when they start producing, because Dostal is amazing. So there's that. Anyways, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always, including your winners. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support, as always. I will talk to you again soon.